Karan Verma, the district administration will face questions, and it's only legitimate because look at what happened after the stampede takes place. After the stampede takes place, there is simply not enough medical infrastructure or doctors in and around the area to save these lives. So people who are critically injured, who could probably have been saved, especially children and women, simply die because of lack of medical facilities that are available nearby.
So, Shreya, first of all, condolences to the families. It's an irreparable loss. No amount of words can actually do anything to calm them at this point of time. But I agree with Yashovardhan ji, what he said. I mean, these functions largely, they're done by private babas and it's their responsibility to manage. Unfortunately, I was just reading in the National Disaster Management Authority, which had sent out the guidelines back in 2015 about how to manage crowds. And they had mentioned all things from religious gatherings, how panic, humidity, how all of this can affect. And they've sent out guidelines, but they're not been implemented. It's high time we woke up to the fact that they should be made mandatory as a compliance in whichever building, wherever there is a gathering. Just as fire extinguishers at one point of time were not mandatory. Now you have to comply and you have to have a fire extinguisher there. Similarly, I think it's high time we had those anti-humidifiers. There's so many guidelines. None of them have ever been implemented. So this is something that at least now we should wake up to. I mean, how many more stampedes do we need for the government, for everyone to wake up to make this absolutely applicable, and you have to comply with it in a building, in a gathering. That's number one. Secondly, I think it's in very bad taste how this has been politicized.
Karan, just...
Yeah, sorry.
But how has it been politicized? No one has said anything so far.
No, on your show, no one has said anything, and I'm glad no one has. But in the assembly, on the floor of the House today, when the Prime Minister was making a statement about this, the opposition's complete lack of sensitivity towards that, the way they kept chanting, the way they kept hooting, I think that was in very bad taste. And I'm glad that on your show, we've not seen any politicization of that. I hope that continues, because right now, the last thing we want is politicization of any sort on this. This can happen anywhere and happen in every part of the country.
Karan, today is a day when at least 100 Indian citizens are dead in a stampede. Today is not the day we will ask the tough questions. Today is the day we'll try and understand why it happened, but there are questions that will be asked. And there will be a blame game that will break out, and accountability has to be fixed. We'll do that tomorrow, but today it doesn't seem that this is the right moment to do it. Yes. Rahul Ishwar, but in that, Karan is right saying that there are SOPs that need to be followed when there are large people gathering at a particular place. But point is, who will check whether these SOPs are in place or not? It is the local administration. When, big mandirs, big temples, or religious leaders, or self-proclaimed babas organize these satsangs or these kathas as they happen in North India, are we to understand that no one is aware of how many people will actually show up?
First of all, Shreyaji, condolences, heartfelt condolences to all those people who have lost somebody dear and near to them. Pranams, may God bless them. Second, I have seen this up close in Shabarimala when nearly 106 people died. I was one of the first person to reach there, followed by all the other people, because I was very close to it. So it's a heart wrenching. It's kind of an memory, emotional memory bringing back moment. So second, let us not start a blame game. Let us not blame any babas in courts or anyone. There are issues, structural issues, not only in India, world over. We have seen in Holy Mecca nearly 500 people losing their life in a nation like Saudi Arabia. So this is an issue not only in India, world over. What we need, as you rightly said, is some kind of a scientific crowd management. And it is responsibility of every one of us, especially who are participating, to make sure such guidelines, which Karanji mentioned, which Asad sir mentioned, should definitely be followed. Yes, accountability should be fixed. And I believe there should be, in a very densely populated nation like India, where we have a large number of population, it is natural we should expect for a buffer kind of a population to come in. Maybe they are expecting 10,000, but 15,000 or 20,000 may come in. So it's a reminder. This occasion should be a reminder for us to be more careful, to be more cautious, to create a sense of awareness about large group gatherings where people should be careful. It happened recently in Kerala in a college where there's a huge concert. At least 5 to 6 young children died in stampede. So this can happen anywhere. So it's again a timely reminder for us to be more guarded and cautious and not to have any kind of a blame game. Yes, accountability should be fixed, but this is not particularly any religion or any cultural gathering. This can happen anywhere. This can happen in a political gathering. This can happen in other sort of gathering. So it needs to be more scientifically arranged, more experts need to be considered. And just one more submission. I hope there should be a strict rule from the government's part that if a congregation of more than 5,000, 10,000 or 20,000 is coming, there should be safety officers who should be deployed in the venue. There should have some kind of a more strict clearance and adherence to it. These are the humanly possible things that we can do so that we don't see these kind of unfortunate things again.
Okay.